Okay, I'm sorry. I'm done. Manchester United 0, Liverpool 4. We've played two games versus Liverpool this season. Conceded 9 in the Premier League, scored 0. I think I've officially had enough. Manchester United, you've got no drive, no ambition. We're hoping for a fifth spot finish this Premier League season, and you know how sad it is. You know how much of a shell Manchester United are compared to their former selves. I'm sorry, I can't speak very loud. People are asleep. Something I wish I did instead of watching this game. But Manchester United, I just don't know where to start. It's just game after game after game. There are just so many problems, and this was it. This is the moment where I've realized we are no longer a big club anymore. And in hindsight, I should have realized that a very, very long time ago. You just listen to the commentators, how much almost bullshit some of them talk about this Manchester United club. I heard Michael Owen, as a pundit, has absolutely no idea what he's talking about. He said that Manchester United have been in average form as of late, and they're going against a very strong Liverpool team. Where on earth do you get that? Where do you get that Manchester United have been in average form as of late? What are you talking about? A 3-2 win versus bottom of the league Norwich after losing 1-0 to Everton? I'm sorry, Manchester United, we don't even deserve a European spot this season. It's almost been handed to us on a silver platter, and we still can't take it. Look, you look at Arsenal, the losses they've gotten over the last few weeks versus teams like Brighton versus Crystal Palace. You look at Chelsea losing to Brentford. You're looking at West Ham drawing to Burnley, Spurs losing to Brighton. All of these teams really giving us a chance. And yet again, once again, we fail miserably. Now, of course, I didn't expect us to get a win versus Liverpool, but at the end of the day, a 4-0, once again, degrading loss where we didn't even have a fighting chance. You look at Manchester United defensively, once again, I think it goes down to management, and I hate to say it, but we don't have a proper manager, and we know that, and I think that was a huge problem going into the season. Once we sacked the likes of Solskjaer, bringing in an interim manager until the end of the season, once again, that was just never going to work, because of course, if that interim manager ends up failing you, you've got no backup plan, especially because Ralf Rangnick is going to be part of this Manchester United squad after the season, part of the sporting directors once our new managers come in. We couldn't really get rid of him, and once again, there's just something so fundamentally wrong with this Manchester United team. I don't know what Ralf Rangnick was thinking with the way he set up this Manchester United team. Starting Phil Jones in a back three versus Liverpool. I'm sorry, but how dumb can you be? Look, I'm no coach. I've got no coaching experience. I've never gone to some sort of coaching school or academy. But even I know you cannot start a player who's had one start in 2.5 years versus your biggest rivals, Liverpool. That just doesn't end up working. Along with that, yes, I am very aware, obviously, Manchester United, we've got a few injuries, a few big injuries that will always impact the team. Luke Shaw missing out, Fred missing out, McTominay missing out, obviously Cristiano Ronaldo, Cavani, some big players missing out. Which, by the way, before I go any further, I do obviously want to mention that obviously my thoughts and wishes go out to Cristiano Ronaldo and his family. Obviously, I think it must be the worst nightmare of any parents in the world, or any want-to-be parents in the world, to lose their child. That's obviously a horrific event, but at the end of the day, one thing that I've definitely learned from an event like this is the fact that Manchester United didn't think heading into the season. Obviously missing Ronaldo, obviously I don't blame him for the events that have happened and for him missing the game, but also losing someone like Cavani, and for us to end up loaning out someone like Anthony Martial. Yes, I know he's not the creme de la creme, he's not the best striker in the world, but we are left with no strikers, and at the moment we had to play Marcus Rashford, which talk about a shell of your former self. Marcus Rashford he's nothing like he used to be. I don't know what it is about him, he's just seemed to lost his mojo, and whether he can pick that up at Manchester United, I have no idea. Now, of course, as I said, heading into this game with the back three, and I hate to say it, but Phil Jones might be our best defender at the moment. And the fact that I'm saying that, it scares me to say that. Harry Maguire, once again, an absolutely awful performance. I think, once again, as the commentators said throughout that game, he kind of put in half-efforted kind of chances. He kind of didn't know what to do. He stood in the middle ground. He hesitated. He didn't go for some tackles, but yet he didn't stay back in defense. So because of that. He left pockets open to defend. Once again, I mean, the whole formation and structure. I think the best Manchester United looked in that game was when we brought Jadon Sancho on. Our first shot of the game was in the second half with a Jadon Sancho shot. And I think the sad part about that is the fact that, I mean, a Manchester United fan could have told you heading into the game to start a player like Jadon Sancho, to start with the formation they changed to in the second half. Once again, I don't know why you'll try to experiment in such a big game with something that you've never tried before, with players that are totally out of form at the moment. Once again, you just look at players like Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Once again, I hate saying this, but a shell of his former self. This entire team is a shell of their former selves. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, I mean, one thing that he was known for when we got him is he wasn't good at attack, but at least when it came to defense, one-on-ones, brilliant player. He's no longer that player. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, not good for anything. Diego Dalot, once again, has his moments from time to time, but is not a first-team Manchester United worthy player. You look at the players, the fullbacks we've had over the years, once again, just not worth it. There are just so many problems, even going into the dying minutes of the game. I mean, I just wanted to record this video, kind of ranting about Manchester United, talking about how disappointed I am in the game. But I kept on thinking, I can't record it now, I have to wait for the end of the game. 60th minute rolled around, you go, oh, they'll probably score, I can't record yet. 70th minute, 80th minute, 90th minute. You just knew Liverpool might score against United again. And as I said, 9 goals conceded past them in this season. I mean, it is absolutely horrific. Do I still count us as rivals of Liverpool? Can we actually call ourselves that? Yes, historically, we are obviously major rivals, but we are nowhere near their level, and it is terrifying to think of. I mean, I've spoken to my dad many times about that, but the scary thing about Manchester United is the fact that there are no guaranteed wins. I mean, at least in the past, you could say we do bad versus small teams, but versus big teams, we seem to rise to the occasion. Where Manchester United now, I wouldn't say we rise to the occasion versus anyone, and it is a terrifying place to be as a United fan. I am so disappointed. As I said, I mean, what is my hope this season? To be honest, I'd be happy if we ended up getting a top 6 spot. I mean, what an awful, abysmal game. And I mean, you get into the dying minutes, and I mean, the discipline goes totally out the window. So we can't even get a goal out of pride. You get your players, your leaders of the team, such as your Bruno Fernandes, giving away stupid yellow cards, and obviously the likes of Hannibal, obviously the 19-year-old midfielder. I mean, he comes on and gets a yellow card within the first minute of the game, or his first minute of the game. And I mean, I'm going to say this, he could have gotten a red within his first 2 minutes on the pitch. Absolutely horrific mistake to make, and I don't quite get Rangnick's decision to bring him on. Yes, I know he's a young player, and to play versus Liverpool for United is a big thing, but I mean, to not really just go forward with your best shots and say, you know what, let's get a goal, let's at least get one back versus Liverpool. And it's shocking. I mean, as I said, I think Liverpool are levels ahead of Manchester United. I mean, you look at a player like Mo Salah, 5 goals past Manchester United in his last 2 games past them. A player like Luis Diaz, obviously getting his first Liverpool goal past Man United. Sadio Mane, a man on form. As I said, there's just nothing redeeming about Manchester United. I think there's a leadership problem, there's a management problem. That's something that's going to have to be sorted out next season. I mean, Zinedine Zidane, I don't understand why a manager like him isn't linked to Manchester United. I would say almost the best manager in the world that is unemployed. I mean, no one's picked this man up. He is a Champions League winning manager, but yet we want to go for someone like Pochettino, who's won... I mean, I can't even tell you what he's won, to be honest with you. He's going to win the French league with PSG, whoop-de-doo. As I said, Manchester United just seem to have absolutely no direction at the moment, and it is scary. As I said, I think our season is absolutely done. If we get European football this season, I will be happy. But obviously, Liverpool 4, Manchester United 0. I am deeply disappointed. Obviously, guys, I'm sorry about the quality of this video. I'm obviously recording this straight after. I have to talk at a quiet voice because people are asleep, so I don't want to bother them. But yeah, as I said, extremely disappointing performance. Obviously, if you want to help my sorrows and sadness and you want to see more of my stuff in the future, don't forget to subscribe, like, support, all of that kind of stuff. But at this exact moment in time, I'm just tired, to be honest with you guys. This has been Finn, FY Doublehead, glory Man United. Well done, Liverpool. You were by far the better team, and this might be the difference maker to who could win the Premier League title. We might have just helped our biggest ever rivals win the Premier League. We'll have to wait and see. But guys, until next time, Finn, FY Doublehead. Cheers.